also. Okay. Okay, time. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Parent Jasumani, could you please do the prayers?
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more and more and more and still yet more till we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai.
Thank you, parent. Jai Meher Baba. Welcome all of you for this Babaful Thursday evening. At the onset, I'd like to invite our one and only Meher Baba to please come and join us and also help us today to conduct this meeting as per your wish. Kindly take over and let every word be spoken as per your wish. Thank you, Baba. Today we're going to concentrate mainly on Mehera because it happens to be her birthday today. Very auspicious day for all of us. Also, Christmas is around the corner. So I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. We all concentrate mainly on the goodies, the cakes, the rum, plum pudding, etc., etc. And we tend to forget the basic essence of the birth of Christ, the Lord who came and led us humans towards God. Meher Baba has also come back to do the same thing. Now, I'd like to speak something about Baba's beloved. Her name is Mehera. Most of us know who Mehera is. People used to mistakenly call her Mehera Mai, and she detested that. She didn't like that at all. She kept telling people, I'm not your mother. So we have to remember to call her just Mehera, Baba's beloved Mehera. Another important thing about Mehera, according to me, is quote unquote Meher Baba. Mehera loves me the way I should be loved. Matchless. There is no one else to even come a shade close to Mehera as far as love for Meher Baba is concerned. The love for Meher Baba is the purest form of love, divine love. There are many stories, and today we shall be hearing a lot of these incidents, anecdotes, and stuff like that. What impressed me the most was after joining Meher Baba, Baba kept her completely sheltered and secluded from men. There were some very strict restrictions on Mehra. There were times when even male names were not uh, discussed in the form of talk. And if she went out on travels, she would wear dark glasses so she wouldn't see any men around, and money would just hold her and walk. And people thought that this young lady is blind. The idea was to keep her focused completely on Meher Baba. And of course, through this divine will, Mehra achieved the right honorable place in Baba's ministry. He was, she was his beloved. I have this lovely picture here, which I'd like to share with everyone. This is Mehra Mai's picture. I'm sorry, Mehra's picture. She is divinity personified, as far as I'm concerned. And her matchless love for Meher Baba is something which has gone down in history, and the world will realize time after time as to how Baba should really be loved. Now, just to give a small brief history about her, a small history on Mehra, I will just read out a small bit, which David Fenster so beautifully managed to get and has recorded it. There's a lovely book called Mehra Meher. I urge all of you to please get your hands on that book and read it to know what Mehra really was all about. Mehra Irani, Mehra Jahangir Irani, January 7th, 1907 to May 20th, 1989, was Meher Baba's closest mandli, that is disciple. Meher Baba said she was the purest soul in the universe, not just this Grant Road, Leamington Road, this earth, and etc., etc., but the entire universe. Can you imagine? She was the purest soul in the universe, and that she loved him as he ought to be loved. He called her his Radha and said, this is very important, she is my very breath, without which I cannot live. I wonder how many women can say that about their male friends or their husbands or whatever. But jokes aside, what can I say? Baba and Mehera were tuned together. Even when Baba was giving darshans sitting far away and Mehra was enclosed somewhere else, especially at Guru Prasad, behind the screens, she would know at once that Baba was sweating and that he needed to be changed or dried up. This is how close, nobody else would have noticed that, but this is how close, sorry, their relationship was. Accounts of her life with Meher Baba are exhaustively and carefully documented in the 3-volume chronicle Mehra Meher, a divine romance written by David Fenster. It is based on the tape recordings of Mehra that he had made. Mehra met Meher Baba for the first time on 15th of October 1922 at the age of 15 in the Sakori ashram of Upasni Maharaj during a visit with her mother. There's a beautiful description of this. When Mehra, as a child, I would say, call her at the age of 15, when she came down and their eyes met, there was that kind of instant connect. After that, she would meet in that Upasni Maharaj's ashram in the Jhopri and listen to Meher Baba singing devotional songs, and she would be in awe of the whole thing. But she did not come to stay with Meher Baba permanently at Meherabad until 1924. Unique amongst Meher Baba's women mandli, Mehra was sequestered, meaning separated by Baba from contact with men. She was absolutely, what can I say? No, she had no idea about any other men except Meher Baba. The purity, yes. It was not until the late 1960s that Mehra J. Irani was permitted by Meher Baba to come out of her seclusion and meet some of the men mandli from a distance. That was in 1968, 1 year before Baba dropped his body. See how well timed the Lord's game is. The way it has been described, she was very nervous and she asked Baba, what do I do when I see all these men for the first time? And Baba said, don't do anything. Just join your hands and say, Jai Baba. And that is what each man filed across, came up to her, joined their hands, and they all said, Jai Baba to her. This was the beginning of Mehra coming out into the public. Just 1 year, exactly 1 year before Baba dropped his body. Yeah, it is said here. In the 1960s, where Mehra J. Irani was permitted by Meher Baba to come out of her seclusion and meet some of the men only from a distance. On the porch at MEHERA'S, she simply folded her hands to them and out of respect to their love for Baba and saluted them with Jai Baba. Mehra was one of 4 women who accompanied Baba in his new life period from 1949 to 51. Can you imagine traveling around without seeing any men? In 1952, Mehra suffered a severe head injury in an automobile accident with Meher Baba near Prague, Oklahoma. In accordance with Meher Baba's directive, this is very beautiful. Mehra's final resting place is by his side, adjacent to his samadhi. What an honor. On the right side. There is a great big description about this automobile accident and Mehra's injury, etc. One thing I remember out of all this was that Mehra had lost her sense of taste. The tongue and everything was badly injured and she had lost sense of taste. Although Mehra was born in January from 1968, her birthday has been celebrated on December 22. Most of us would ask this question as to why. So here's the answer. Celebrated on December 22 as it was in 1968 in accordance with the Zoroastrian calendar, that being the last year it was celebrated in Meher Baba's physical presence. So, anybody wants to say anything? About Mehra, please come forth. Perrin, would you like to say something? Go ahead. Please, mic up. Yeah.
Jai Meher Baba. Sam has spoken so beautifully the points that I would have liked to have been said. However, just a very quick thought that comes to mind. After Mehera dropped her body, and 4 of the Canadian women had come for Mehera, and we were not there for her cremation, but we were there from maybe the 3rd day because it takes a while to fly from Canada to India. Anyway, on the 7th day, when the women, Mehera's little tomb was set up temporarily and everything, and the women were there, Mani was there, Goaher, Meheru, Katie, all of them were present, and some of us were also there. What touched me the most, and that's why I'll tell you this little story. So the very first time Mani put a garland on Mehera's tomb, these were her words. She said, Avatar Meher Baba ki jai, Mehera Radha ki jai. From that moment, the rest of us started saying, Mehera Radha ki jai. And that brings me to another little point where Mehera used to love Krishna and always admired Radha's love. Meru has said in one of her talks, and she has mentioned it on MEHERA'S porch also, that one of the days when Mehera said this to Baba, Baba looked at her very beautifully and said, I, as Baba, love you more as Mehera than I, as Krishna, loved Radha.
Oh, wow.
And this touched Mehera so much. Meru says, Mehera was just smiling sweetly, never said a word. And that was Baba speaking out very clearly to her. So we know she is Baba's beloved, the purest soul in the universe. And may beloved Baba and her guide us all towards them. Thank you. Jai my Baba.
You like? A dog barking? I can bark louder, but let's not have that barking competition. Thank you. It has been said that Baba would never not concede to Mehera's request. The Mani auntie once described that if Mehera said at the brightest of the day's time that it is very dark, and Baba would nod his head and say, yes, it is so. There are some people that I know of who, after coming to know that Baba never, or Baba always grants Mehera's wishes, never turns her down, they would quietly sneak up to her when they were alone, and they would tell Mehera to request Baba to grant them children, etc., etc., etc. And Mehera sometimes obliged, and Baba would never ever turn her down or say no to her. One glaring example that comes to my mind is Kotwal family. Adi Kotwal, that is Savak Kotwal's son, and his wife. Erin, what was the wife's name? Do you remember? Anyway, she is Naju Kotwal's brother.
Freni.
Preni. Okay, thanks, Jimmy. So they had requested Mehra that we haven't been able to get an issue for a long, long time now. And if she could oblige us and request Baba to do so. Sure enough, it was done. The wish was granted. And they had a young boy. I mean, they had a boy born whose name was named Merwan. The fine boy. I don't know the karmic cycle or whatever was behind it all, but his parents, Adi and Freni, both died in a severe accident on the way to Meherabad. And Naju Kotwal brought up this young boy, Merwan. Hilla Talwar and Naju Kotwal, both of them were responsible in bringing up this boy. And Nargish also, the grandmother, Nargish.
Some Hilla is in town.
I beg your pardon?
Hilla is in town.
Hilla
She is-
town. Oh, wow.
And she said that this is the last time in my life that I've come to Meherabad. Now she's 90, she can't travel anymore. So she said this is the last time I went to Pageparu and Samadhi. Sorry. It was Naju who pleaded with Mehra, not the couple.
Oh, I see. Oh,
Naju.
thanks, Jimmy, for the correction. Is Hilla around? Can she join us on today's thing?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I see. Okay. After this accident that had happened, and a few months after, I'd visited their place in Mahim, and Naju's mother, Nargish.
Nargish.
I'm very bad with names, folks. Please excuse me. She was doing her thing around the kitchen, whatever. And this topic came up about Baba and the neighbors were, in our Parsi parlance, we say tupi khawing, Nargish, saying what kind of God is this Meher Baba when people went for his pilgrimage and he took them away. And now this young boy has to be brought up by you all, this, that, and the other. And Nargish, she just turned around very bluntly and she said, do you know how many times Baba has saved Adi? And she enumerated a number of times when Adi could have passed away very easily and Baba had saved him and kept him till all this time. another thing in the passing, this is not something to do with Mehra, but about this Naju and Adi Kotwal. You know, Baba had this habit of visiting the ladies at Upper Mehrabad, and during tea time, he would have tea with them, and then the small children and Baba and the ladies would come rolling down the Mehrabad hill to come to Lower Mehrabad. And Baba, Adi was a little toddler, small kid running around. So Baba told Nargis to give it to him, and he carried Adi in his arms. And then after some time, you know, on the way down, there are stones and blocks. So Baba sat down on one of those things and put Adi down, and Baba sat down and he looks at Nargis and he says, "Do you know this soul, that is Adi, has earned this boon of being carried by the avatar in his arms because in his previous life he had done some great penance and standing on one leg or whatever, something like that. And because of that, in this particular birth of his, it was granted that he should be carried by the avatar. And then he looked at Nargish and he said, you were also someone very special. And therefore you have this boon of being with me in this women mandli. So folks, I would like now Jimmy to take over and we could go on and on about Mehra and Baba and his wonderful ways of doing things. All I can say is, हजारों पंडित, हजारों श्याने, खुदा की बातें, खुदा की बातें, खुदा ही जाने. Okay, Jimmy, all yours. Habovi smiling. Jai Baba Habovi.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks.
Jai Baba to everyone and happy birthday to all. If there are two books that you can research on Mehera's life, I'll use the word Mehera and I'll tell you in a minute's time why I will call her Mehera and not Mehera. Sam has already touched upon this, but I'll tell you the family story behind this. Mehera Meher is one which I've read from cover to cover, all the 3 volumes. And there's another book which came ages ago. It was printed by Nosirwan Anzar of Beloved Archives. And I hope you can see this book. Some I was referring to this book. I don't know if can you guys see it?
Yes, we can.
You have to focus a little better.
I don't know how to do it. So, but basically this is it.
Yeah, we've seen it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, it's not coming through. But anyway, long and short, this is a very, very composite book as much as Mehera Meher, talking about Mehera's trials with journey, Mehera's trials with Meher Baba. So this is the book from where I picked up
what I'm going to talk about today. But before that, this was at MEHERA'S when my sister Betsy, she addressed Meheramai as Meheramai. And Meheramai told Betsy that Betsy called me Mehera and not Meheramai. I didn't know this for very many years, but I came to know in the recent past that it was she herself who told Betsy and the others not to call her Mai, but just plain Mehera. So I'll address her as Mehera. Now, what was Mehera called? Mehera was called the divine counterpart. The divine counterpart. Now, what do we understand as counterpart? I'll tell you. But before that, it's also written, and I quote, the beloved of the beloved of the divine beloved, whose love for him is unique in its purity and its one-pointedness. I'll repeat, please listen. The beloved of the divine beloved, whose love for him is unique in its purity and one-pointedness. This is what is said about Mehera. Now, talking about the counterpart, what do we mean by counterpart? And why is it called counterpart? All the avatars are born in male form. All the avatars are in male form. They are not in the women form. Similarly, all the perfect masters are in male form and not in female form. Barring Babajan, but Babajan herself did not like herself to be addressed as my or any such feminine pronoun. She preferred not to be called so. So therefore, I say that all avatars are born in male form. Now, if avatars are born in male form, there is an imbalance. Imbalance in the sense everything has balance in life. So in avatar's case also there should be some balance. So to have a balance, there is a counterpart. And the counterpart is in the form of a woman counterpart, so that male and female balance is maintained. Now let's talk from Zoroaster onwards. Zoroaster is the first avatar in recorded history. So we'll start with Zoroaster. Havavi, who was Zoroaster's wife, was deemed to be Zoroaster's counterpart. Then Ram's Sita. Sita was also his wife. In of Krishna, it was Radha. Now Radha was not Krishna's wife. Rukmani was Krishna's wife. But in spiritual sense, it was Radha and not Rukmani. Gautama, Gautama Buddha, I do not know. Gautama Buddha, everybody knows this. He was a prince. There is some disturbance at the back. Gautama Buddha was married. He had a child. He lives in Haveli or palace, whatever it is. He goes into the jungle. After many years, he has a band of followers. And one of the women followers was his woman counterpart. I forget the name. In case of Jesus, it was Mary. In case of Muhammad had 4 wives. Somewhere I've read Muhammad had 7 wives, but we won't go into that. One of his wives named Khadija. Khadija was Muhammad's woman counterpart, and case of Meher Baba, Mehera. So that is what is meant by counterpart. So these are the counterparts of the avatar.
Jimmy, so
Yes.
Buddha's wife was Yashodhara. Her name is Yashodhara. Buddha was married to Yashodhara.
No, I don't agree. Married to. Okay, we are not talking about the wife. If you're talking about the wife,
Yeah.
wife was not his spiritual counterpart. He had left his wife years ago. So you are right in case of wife, but counterpart, not the wife, someone else. Okay. a slight correction from what Sam said. Uh, Mehr Baba, she met Mehr Baba at Sakuri in 1922 at the age of 14, 1-4, in 1922. And the story goes that they were already at, sorry, I forgot to tell you that she was married, she was born to Daulat and Jahangir. The parents' name was Daulat Mai and Jahangir. Their first child was Piroja, who was later named as Freni by Baba. And I'll come to that right now. When they met Baba, Piroja said, Baba, my name is Piroja. And Baba said, I will call you Freni because I had a sister called Freni whom I loved so much, and she died in young age. So I will call you Freni. And after Freni was 8 years old, Mehera was born. So that's the background. There's a family background. Daulat Mai and Jahangir, Freni, Piroja, who was called Freni later, and Mehera. So that's in the substance. So coming to Sakuri again, in 22, she and Freni, who were together, they were going to the temple, Sakuri temple, when one of the Kanyas said, quiet, listen, Meherwan is coming down. So at that time he was not called Meher Baba or Sri or whatever. So Meherwan very quickly came down the flights of steps and he went away. And Mehera saw him for the first time ever from side face, and he walked away. The second time when they were sitting in that jhopdi with Baba, with Upasni, they were seated, women on one side, men on the other side. And Meherwan walked in, a young man, naturally. He walked in, he bowed down to Upasni, and Upasni at that time said, you go and sit out under the tree, I will come and meet you in a while. So Meherwan goes and sits under the tree. So that's the second time that Mehera saw Baba. The third time was when these ladies came out of the jhopdi, they saw Baba seated under the tree waiting for Upasni Maharaj to come. And then they saw Upasni Maharaj and Baba under the tree sitting very close to each other and talking about something. And the fourth time, that same day, for the fourth time she saw him, was they were in a room where they were housed or stayed. From there, Meher Baba caught the Tonga and he went away in a Tonga to go to Sakuri station, railway station. So that was the fourth time in that very first day that Mehera had a glimpse of Baba. So that is how it is described, that she saw Baba for the very first time. But their eyes never met. Only Mehera saw Baba. Baba did not see Mehera. Maybe he saw Mehera indirectly, but the eyes did not match. They did not meet. You can always say saw and not meet because they did not meet on that day. Okay. Now, Upasni, the very first time they went to the hut to meet Upasni, Upasni is asking Mehera, what's your name? And Mehera says, Baba, my name is Mehera. Maybe in Gujarati, because Upasni would speak in Mehera, in Gujarati. So Mehera must have said, Baba, maru naam Mehera hai. So Upasni said, none of the Kanyas will remember your name as Mehera, because Mehera is not a Hindu name and it will not come up on their tongue very easily. So I will call you Meera. So she was at Sakuri, not called Mehera, she was called Meera. Now she was educated in a convent school. And at convent school, she was not called Mehera, she was called Mary. So she had three names in her childhood. She went to Sakuri, she was called Meera. At home and around family, she was called Mehera. And at school, she was called Mary. So lucky girl who have three names. Yeah. Talking about Jahangir, the father, Jahangir was a forest officer. We are talking about the days of the Raj. He was a forest officer. That means in charge of one particular forest. So being a forest officer, they would be given a big house, maybe something like a forest lodge where they would be housed, and there would be outhouses for servants, servants' quarters. They had a retinue of servants like a cook, a groom, a gardener, and someone who kept the carriage, etc., etc. The household servants. So Mehra lived a life of plenty, a life of plenty. I'm sure his salary, the father's salary was good. So they lived in a very comfortable house. But the life in forest was different from life that we have in a town or a city. So she had a kind of a rough and tough life. She would ride ponies because ponies are horses in the jungles. She had also ridden on a camel because they traveled from one place to the other. So there's a story about riding on a camel. The father of Jamshid, Jahangir, would sit in the front and he would tell his little daughter to hold him tight from the back. And then the camel would trot. And she also sat on an elephant. So from the very childhood, she loved riding and riding on a horse also. And her father taught her how to ride a pony, initially a pony and then a horse. So she was a kind of a tomboy, as we call in today's parlance. So she had a life of plenty. The mother, sister, the father, they all lived a very happy life. And that's how her childhood went. Now, one day, now this happened at Pune. I'm coming much later. At Pune, Baba was at Ferguson Road. He was living in a koti or a small hut-like thing, and people would come to meet Baba. And gents sat on one side, female sat on the other side. Now, Mehera's mother, Daulatmai, was sitting a little at the back of Baba. So after a while, everyone left. And after a while, Baba looks behind, and he sees Daulat sitting at the back. Baba says, "What are you doing here? Everybody is gone. What are you sitting here for?" And Baba says, "Is there anything you want to tell me? Is there anything that you want to ask me?" And normally what happens is, if someone wants to ask something, a favor of whatever, to a higher person, that person stays back so that the others can go and privately, he or she can talk to that person, that higher person. So naturally, the Baba's question was, "You want to tell me something? Do you want to ask me something?" And she didn't really wanted to ask. She was not sitting there to ask something. She was sitting there because she wanted to be with Baba for as long as she can, if she could. But suddenly she says, "Yes, Baba, my Freni," that's the eldest Piroja, "Baba, she has not been eating well of late. And maybe because of that, she's listless." Listless means no life in it, no bubbliness as a young child should be having. So Baba says, "Take her to Udwada." Now, she's taken aback. The mother is taken aback. Daulatma is taken aback that she had all the faith on Baba. And suddenly Baba says, "Take her to Udwada." But very early, she had learned of obedience, that come what may, you are supposed to obey Baba. So she said, "Okay, Baba, we'll go to Udwada." And then again, Baba turns back and says, "You're still here? I told you to take her to Udwada. Is there still anything you want to talk to me? Do you want to ask me something? What is it?" She draws a blank. The mother draws a blank, and suddenly she remembers that at Pune, They lived on a good road, on a fancy road called Todiwala Lane. Todiwala Lane. And there was a wealthy family called Todiwalas who had their bungalow at the end of Todiwala Road. That's how it was named Todiwala Lane or Todiwala Road. And there were parents and there were brothers and sisters. All were married except one. And she was not married and she was already 40. Imagine in those days, till the age of 40, she was not married. So one day she confides to Dollard, saying that Dollard, I'm 40, all my brothers, sisters are married, my parents are old. One day they will go away and I'll be left all alone in this world. I'm very disappointed. I'm very frustrated. What will happen to me? Who will look after me in my old age? So that Dollard remembered when Baba asked, do you still want to ask me something? So she said, yes, Baba, there is this lady. Now you can't call her a girl. There's this lady, Todiwala, Miss Todiwala, and this is a problem. Baba says, take her also to Udwada. Well, so she says, okay, Baba, I'll take her as well. So she goes to this woman and says that me and my children are going to Udwada from Pune. Would you like to join? Now she was a lonely woman. She was alone. She said, okay, I'll come. Now, Daulat does not tell this lady that we are going because Meher Baba said so. In those days, Parsis were them against Meher Baba. The very name of Meher Baba, whatever. So this lady tags along. They go to Udwada, and as they are eating in one of the hotels or wherever, Freddy starts eating. She suddenly starts eating and she starts eating well. And because she was eating well, she became kind of healthy and chirpy. And mother was very happy that because she obeyed Meher Baba, she sees the transformation right there, right at Udwada itself. And they come back to Pune. A whole of month passes, one full month. And she was very disappointed. The mother was very disappointed. She was very, I don't know what's the other word, that there's no news from that lady, Miss Todiwala. And she was wondering what's happening. 1 month passed, no go, nothing. Suddenly she comes to know that Miss Todiwala receives her first proposal at the age of 40. Imagine girls received a proposal at the age of 14. But this Miss Todiwala, till she was 40, she received not one proposal, not one. Suddenly there's a proposal. The proposal is accepted. And the next thing Daulat knew was she was married. This is it. This is what is called acceptance. Acceptance of what your guru says. If you obey him 100%, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. The impossible turns possible. But the point is, I'm sorry, I'm digressing. The point is, if you hold back 1%, and I mean it, if you hold back 1%, then Baba will say, or your guru, whoever, that she or he is still hopeful. He was still hopeful. That means holding back the strand and not letting it go. It's only when you leave 100% to the beloved Baba or whoever, then that higher authority takes over. When he takes over, well, as per your karma, he helps you, it gets done. So this is what happened, because Daulat Mai trusted Baba and said, okay, Baba, I'll go to Udwara, as you say, that kind of a thing. Okay. Mehera was in school. She had a young friend who also had heard about Babajan. So one day in recess time, that friend of, maybe she was 7, 8 years old. So that friend tells Mehra that Baba Jan has come. This was a recess time. Baba just come, let's go and meet her, let's go and meet her. And Mehra said, no, we can't go. We can't go all the way, and the bell will ring, this recess will be over and he'll be punished. So this girl says, no, no, she's outside the gate, school gate. She's right there. Come, let's go. So they all hand in hand and they run and they go to Baba Jan. And this girl tells her that whatever you tell her, whatever you ask from her will come true. But Mehra didn't know what to ask for. So this girl kneels down to Baba Jan. She talks to Baba Jan. She says something which Mehra didn't know. And she gets up. Then Mehra kneels down to Baba Jan. And Baba Jan says, Beta, तुझे क्या चाहिए, तने सू જોઈએ, whatever. And Mehra draws a blank because she didn't have anything to ask for. She didn't know what to ask for. But she sees a carriage. You know, in those days there were tongas, carriages. Suddenly she sees a carriage and she sees a lovely horse. So she tells her that I want a horse. I want a white horse. So Babajan looks at the sky and says, it's a lovely blue sky. And I suppose that's it. Or I think she says, ho jayega or something. And they hold hand in hand again, the girls, they run back to school. After a month or so, Mehra is at home and someone shouts at Mehra and says, Mehra, come, see something, come, quickly come. And Mehra doesn't know what that lady is talking about. And that lady says, go to the stud farm, go there and look what your mummy has brought. And Daulat Ma had seen a horse on the roadside and the horse was being sold. And she also had a background of having animals at home, pets at home, horse at home. So she buys this spotlessly white horse. Only the nostrils were pink. Other than that, the horse was almost like an albino, as we say. It was a pure white horse. So she brought the horse home and Mehra falls in love with that horse. And there are stories about Mehra riding that horse, etc., etc. But she loved that horse. It was a beautiful horse. Okay, now we come to Firoja or Freddie's wedding. Now Freddie was of marriageable age, and in those days there was nothing like courtship or love affair. The parents would choose the boy and the girl, and they discuss among themselves. And if they like, then the boy and girl are supposed to see each other, not meet. I repeat, not meet or not even talk. Supposed to see each other. So Baba was at Manzil-e-Mim in those days, and Adi Siddiar and brother Rustam were also with Baba at Manzil-e-Mim. So these ladies knew that if they have to see the boy, they have to go to Manzil-e-Mim to see the boy. So I presume that they must have written to Baba, and Baba said, okay, you can come. So 3-4 ladies, including Firoja, also called Freni, they go to Manzil-e-Mim. Rustam is called, and they see each other and they like each other. And they say, yes, I like him and I like her, etc. So then Rustam is sent away. But then Rustam tells Baba subsequently that, Baba, I will marry, if you say so, I will marry her, provided you come for my marriage. If you come for my marriage, then I will say yes. Baba said, I will come for your marriage. So that is done. And the marriage date is fixed, etc. This would be held at Ahmednagar. So naturally, Baba, Rustam, Adi, and maybe a couple of few, like Masaji, etc., they come to Ahmednagar. Now, they are housed at the trust office compound called Khusru Khusru quarters as they were known. Now, next to Khusru quarters was a building called Saros Manzil. Now, there's no time, so I will, oh my God, it's already 7. There's no time, so I will not go into Saros Manzil, etc. But both the places were adjoining and they were owned by Kekasru and his father. So they were staying at Khusru quarters in a couple of rooms. There were many rooms. There are many rooms at Khusru quarters, trust office. And Ade comes one day and tells Baba that, Baba, people are speaking ill of you over here. So Baba got very upset. Now you know the whole story, so I will not go into that. Now Rustam comes to know that Baba has walked away. He has gone somewhere. So Rustam goes in that direction. He comes to Kinetic Chowk. Now, if you go straight from Kinetic Chowk, you'll end up at the station, railway station. But if you go left, you go towards Meherabad. So he's asking at that crossroad, someone saying, have you seen a man with long hair, white sadra? Have you seen him? So someone said, yes, he took the left turn. So he was relieved. Rustam was relieved that Baba has not gone by train anywhere. He would have missed him. So he maybe on his motorbike, I suppose, he goes on that road. It is sure enough, he finds Meher Baba at that tree. And he pleads with Baba, that Baba, please forgive us. Baba, please forgive them. They know not what they are talking. And Baba, please come back. If you don't come back, I will not get married. I will cancel my marriage. So Baba comes back. Now he stays in the adjoining place called Saros Manzil, and he occupies the top floor. You know, in those old buildings, there used to be a one floor called a tower room. Even at Mobo's hotel where we stayed, there was a tower room where Rhoda Arnavaz's father would stay, the old man. So even this Manzil, they had a tower room where Baba stayed. And from this tower room, it is said that you could see the whole of Ahmednagar, naturally in those days. So that's that, and the marriage took place, etc., etc. Now, some tell me, some I have got quite a few. Maybe we can carry on next Thursday. No, next Thursday we are booked. So maybe some tell me, I think we should stop here and we continue a week, 1 week thereafter in February.
Yes,
January.
we can, Jimmy. We can stop here and continue the week after next. Incidentally, next week we've got grandchildren of Pratap Ahir, Prashant's kids. They will be talking and singing in praises of Meher Baba. Today, we have a small song which Janice has taken a lot of trouble to find out and all that. And we would like to listen to that song and then end the session. I'm sorry for the few minutes extension. It's the word. I'm being told that the words were written by Mehera herself and composed by Meher Veena. Okay. Play it nice and loud. Thank you, Baba. Janice, if you could please bring in the last picture of Mehera when the song ends. The reason why I'm asking for this picture is okay, in her eyes, both her eyes, you can see Baba. And I don't think any of us can ever achieve that state of that divine love. Yeah, this is the picture. This is the picture, my dear friends. This is the picture. Look at it and think within yourselves. How much, now I'm talking for myself, how much is the gap of purity between Mehera's love for Baba and this idiot like me? Only Mehera saw Baba in everything and everywhere because her focus on life, her focus in life was only Meher Baba and Baba alone. I know none of us can reach that stature, but let us today resolve to give priority to Meher Baba in our lives and our works and our day-to-day affairs. Thank you, everybody. Hope you've all enjoyed this. And now we shall do not sign off, as we shall be doing the prayers and the Aarti. So please do join us for the prayer and the Aarti. Jai Baba.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। हे परवरदिगार, सबके राखनहार और सबकी रक्षा करने वाले, तुम्हारा कोई आदि नहीं है और ना तुम्हारा कोई अंत है। तुम अद्वैत हो, तुम तुलना से परे हो और तुम्हारा पार कोई नहीं पा सकता है। तुम्हारा कोई रंग और कोई रूप नहीं है। तुम आविर्भाव से रहित हो और तुम गुणातीत हो। तुम अपार हो, तुलना से परे हो, शाश्वत और अनश्वर हो। तुम अखंडनीय हो और दिव्य नेत्रों के सिवा। और तुम्हारा अस्तित्व सदैव था, तुम सदैव रहते हो और तुम सदैव रहोगे। तुम सर्वत्र हो, तुम हर वस्तु में हो और तुम हर जगह से परे तथा हर वस्तु से परे भी हो। तुम आकाश में हो और पाताल में हो, तुम व्यक्त हो और अव्यक्त हो, तुम सब लोकों पर हो और समस्त लोकों से परे हो। तुम तीनों भुवनों में हो और तीनों भुवनों से परे भी हो। तुम अगोचर हो और स्वतंत्र हो। तुम सृष्टि के रचने वाले हो, स्वामियों के स्वामी हो, समस्त मनों और हृदयों के ज्ञाता हो। तुम सर्वशक्तिमान हो और सर्वव्यापी हो। तुम अनंत ज्ञान हो, अनंत शक्ति हो और अनंत आनंद हो। तुम ज्ञान के महासागर हो, सर्वज्ञ हो, अनंत ज्ञान रखने वाले हो। तुम भूत, वर्तमान और भविष्य के ज्ञाता हो और तुम स्वयं ज्ञान हो। तुम पूर्ण दयामय हो और सदैव हितकारी हो। तुम आत्माओं की आत्मा हो और अनंत गुणों से संपन्न एक परमात्मा हो। तुम सत्य, ज्ञान और परमानंद की त्रिमूर्ति हो। तुम सत्य के मूल हो, प्रेम के महासागर हो। तुम सनातन सत्ता हो, ऊंचों में सबसे ऊंचे हो। तुम प्रभु और परमेश्वर हो। तुम परब्रह्म हो और परात्पर परब्रह्म भी हो। तुम परब्रह्म परमात्मा हो, अल्लाह हो, इलाही हो, यजदान हो, अहुरमस्त हो और प्रियतम ईश्वर हो। तुम्हारा नाम इज्जत अर्थात एकमात्र पूज्य है। हे असीम दया के निधि प्रभुराज, हम अपने सब पापों के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं। हर एक विचार के लिए जो असत्य, अनुचित या गंदा था, हर एक बोले हुए शब्द के लिए जिसे बोलना हमें उचित न था, और हर एक कर्म के लिए जिसे करना हमें उचित न था। स्वार्थ से प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द तथा विचार के लिए तथा द्वेष प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए हम पश्चाताप करते हैं। विशेषकर हर एक कामुक विचार तथा क्रिया के लिए, ऐसे हर एक वचन के लिए जिसको हमने पूरा नहीं किया, सब असत्य वचनों के लिए और सभी निंदा, पाखंड, दम या लोगों के पीछे उनके दोष बताने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। और खासकर दूसरों का नाश करने वाले हर एक कर्म के लिए, दूसरों को दुख देने वाले हर एक शब्द तथा कर्म के लिए तथा दूसरों पर दुख गिरने की इच्छा करने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। हे प्रभुराज, आप हम पर असीम दया करके हमारे किए हुए पापों को क्षमा कीजिए और वैसे ही आपकी मर्जी के अनुसार विचार करने में, बोलने में तथा कार्य करने में जो हमारी असमर्थता सदा रहती आई है, उसको भी क्षमा कीजिए। यही हमारी आपसे प्रार्थना है। प्रियतम परमात्मा, हमारी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम तुझसे अधिक का अधिक प्रेम करें, और अधिक और अधिक और फिर भी उससे भी अधिक प्रेम करें, जब तक कि हम तुझ में मिलकर एक हो जाने के पात्र बन जाए। और तू हम सब की ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम अंत अंत तक प्रियतम बाबा का दामन दृढ़ता से पकड़े रहे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
बुझावे नारज़ लतानी ये कार खुद रात में फरमातु छेलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातु हयामूर शाद मेहर बाबा चरण पर तुझ न दरिए सर खुदाना जात तीवा के फथई बे तो मेहरबा तू छे लिका की कतनो तू आशे बीने आरे बी तू छे दरी या ये वेदता मारे फातनो होई तू फातू हमोरे राव में साले बकाशे ज्ञान ईजदनु के तुझ पर मातमा ज्ञानी चने मोक तारे इरफातु खुदाना प्रेमनो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर जान स्वर्ग के साखिया पीदे पयमा तू हमारी नाव भर दरिए तरावे तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदा है मेहर बाबा छेनी गे बातू हमारा ना खुदा है मेरा बाबा छेनी गे बातू बुझावे नारज लतानी ये कार कूद रात में फरमातू छेलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातू अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Oh, glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright, transcendental sun, lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart may I give to you to keep. Creator yet creation, as you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Who through compassion the three worlds maintains. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of prayer of the world's wheel that bears me on to death. Unless you who are infinitely kind break the wheels of bridges condition mine. These incenses, my love, these fruits, my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining eye. You are myself, I sing to you in praise and beg your love to bear me through the days till you, the ever living perfect one, Illume my darkness with your shining sun. Atar Meher Baba ki jai. Atar Meher Baba ki jai. Atar Meher Baba ki jai. There'll be a minute silence. Beloved Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Let us all get together and sing a very happy birthday for Mehra. Okay? Everybody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, dear Mehra. Happy birthday to you. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.